this right. Hey, hey, passion first, put it first. Hey, passion first, put it first. Hey, we gon' be needing each other just to get this right. Hey, hey, passion first, put it first. Hey, passion first, put it first. Hey, we gon' be needing each other just to get this right. Hey, put it first. Hey, how many young people died this year? How many people out living in fear? Economics got you coming up short. How many people ain't got no support? See the world reacting, I don't see no passion, just a useless action. We cannot get past it. Regulated habits, governmental status, country filled with madness. Pack reaction, screaming loud inside, wanna make it right, feel like now's the time. We cannot be quiet. Change a generation, we gon' change the nation. That's our motivation and my declaration. We can't be focused on obstacles. All we focused on is winning goals. Using passion, knocking down doors, get these kids something to live for. All we know is we don't wanna hurt. Gotta pay bills, so we gotta work.
In order to achieve your dreams, you gotta follow your passion first.
Passion first. Yikes.
Let's go.
Wow.
What's up with you, Josh? What's up, man?
Yo, what a great theme song. I hear one of those. I hear the artist is actually going to be joining here with us today.
Man, check her out on Instagram, shine_town_prophecy. She's a beast. She's been helping us out a lot with her inspiration, her wisdom, her mental health perspective for these young bucks, man. So just an honor to have her aboard.
What a great way to kick it off, man. And just through that intro, you can see a lot of different passions that that you're fostering within the youth, man. A lot of different passions. I saw culinary, of course. We have the rapping. I saw some visual arts, some murals, man. But before we kick this whole thing off, let's just tell the people, what is your passion first? Obviously, you founded it. Let us know what's up.
Yeah, for sure, man. So for those of y'all that are just joining, this is a very special edition of Principles of Passion, which is a division of Your Passion First. We really focused on mental health-based and project-based learning experiences for young adults. So really honing in on mental health, workforce readiness, entrepreneurship. Today, the title of our episode is Care Through Creation, right? And really a conversation about mental health through the arts. And when you look at that creativity, we're all put here on this earth to create something, whether it be create another life, create something for yourself. And I think it's so important that we really take that to heart, right? We're all gifted with that opportunity. And so at Your Passion First, we're really just hoping to inspire these young adults to find what's inside of them. What do they love? What are they good at? And then how do you take that, find it, define it, and then follow that into the workforce?
That's nice. And you aren't just talking about it. I just recently got a newsletter, it was blasted out all over Chicago. Can you just in case some people trying to get in tune with you right now, I think there's a special opportunity for 18 to 24-year-olds. Can you let us know a little bit about that before we get started?
Yeah, first and foremost, for anybody tuning in, you can win prizes today. So I'm going to get to that part right away. You can win some prizes, whether it be a coaching session, $25 gift card. But then also we have some job opportunities for young adults ages 16 to 24 that are looking to do just that. Figure out what is their place in this world, right? As young adults, a lot of times we're put into these boxes and say, hey, you got to be this, you got to be that. But these young adults have an opportunity to get outside of that box, think outside of that box, and to really have that training, that mentorship, and then that project-based learning experience to get that real-time hands-on experience and be connected with mentors. So a lot of opportunities for young adults to get paid, $15 an hour internships. Wow. We're also building out our youth advisory committee. You'll be hearing from a couple of the young adults that have recently joined that today. So just exciting time, super excited, man.
That's awesome. So, I mean,
what about you? Tell us a little bit about you, bro.
Well, me. I'll tell you about myself, man. I'll tell you about myself. Well, Justin Cunningham, executive director of Social Works, known as Social Works Shy on the internet. What we do here is we're founded by Chance the Rapper, and we empower the youth through arts, education, and civic engagement. We have, two main ways of doing that. The first way being, we want to immediately impact you. So if you need food, shelter, summer programs, or if you're a youth that happen to be, in any scholastic program, also achieving or striving for the arts, we want to help you build and hone those things. And those are our programming that happens every day, basically. And then at the same time, we are an institution. Well, we are an institution. I'm just going to say it. Social Works is an institution. And what we believe is that we can impact change. We hope that we can do that for the next generation. And we hope that we can push these institutions to be more accessible, more transparent, and more just human-centered. So we partner with these large organizations like the CPS or Chicago Public Schools, as well as mental health organizations like the Chicago Department of Public Health or Illinois Department of Human Services, to go ahead and create just really innovative ideas that people can, again, step forward to these organizations and get the help that they deserve. So that's a little bit about us. $11 million to the Chicagoland area over the last 5.5 years. So we're a small organization. Myself, Essen Smith, Carlos Oliva holding it down, and more to come from us. But really, I'm just so excited to dive in, because mental health is a priority at Social Works. Is a priority for myself. I know for a fact yourself as well. So you want to go ahead and introduce these panelists?
Man, I'm excited. What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce some of our young ones first.
All right.
And then maybe we could just flip-flop a little bit. Before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to Light of Loving Kindness. We got a couple of their interns. You saw one of them in that intro video, Jayla. She was part of our pitch competition last year, but they're also helping us judge. And you'll be hearing from a couple of those young adults that are their majors are psychology. So excited to hear them, happy to have them a part of this. And again, Cassandra Powell and whole Light of Loving Kindness team. That's actually how I believe I got connected to Justin, or vice versa. Justin connected me to them. So it all comes full circle. But let's get to these panelists. First up, I want to bring on a gentleman that has actually won our pitch competition 2 years in a row. Wow. He's a freelance artist specializing in mural creation, fashion design, modeling, videography, acting, youth development. He's part of our youth advisory committee, and he's currently an Aspen Fellow and lead facilitator at Territory Not-for-Profit, and he's striving to bring networking and fundraising to the community. And one of his notable, most recent acts has been a mural in Bronzeville, and then also one in Little Village, and he's participated in 2 fashion shows. He's become my brother, my friend, my family. Keyshawn Owens, brother. What up, my man?
Howdy, guys. How's you going? It's a pleasure you guys having me here. I'm actually excited. It's like the second time I've been on a podcast with you and Justin.
That's amazing. Yo, good to see you again, dog. Good to see you. Yo, let me introduce the songstress, the dynamic force, Queen Prophecy right now. That introduction was fire. Let me go ahead and bring her in right now. She's a Chicago native, headed by her mother and father. She is the youngest of 5 children. As a young child, Prophecy grew up singing gospel music and classical music through local choirs, as well as singing the rhythm and blues, hip hop, pop, rock and roll, and other genres of music throughout her whole household experiences. So she's got a wealth of musical knowledge. You already heard it from the intro. Prophecy's music is a divine mix of real life experiences, spirituality, and true knowledge. Prophecy's goal is to encourage positivity in broken communities of color and to inspire the youth growing up to be a part of the positive change that the world needs to see. As a graduate with her Bachelor's of Arts in Liberal Arts and Sciences and her Master's in Clinical Mental Health Counseling, yes, Prophecy cultivated her gift and began utilizing her skill set to reach children on the South Side. Thank you. Prophecy helped in creating a social emotional skills curriculum to help youth effectively deal with the trauma and violence they face daily. This encouraged Prophecy to use her music as an effective way to change and encourage youth. Prophecy believes that to inspire love, one must lead by example. And for Prophecy, love is an ingredient the world needs more of. And Prophecy believes her music is a universal language of love we can all speak. Yo, drop something in the chat for Prophecy right now. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
Let's go. Hey, I didn't want to go too far without bringing in my boy, my business partner. He's been an inspiration. If y'all have not ever heard of Mikasa Holiday, this is Julius, the Mad Thinker Spates. What up, bro?
Good, man. Good, man. Just looking forward to a great conversation, so I'm not going to take up too much time. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and keep it going. I'm just flying the wall right now.
Man, I had to come to his humble abode to make sure that he's a part of this. And, man, just so thankful for everything. But, man, thank you. Let's get on to this next young adult here. She's a little newer to the Your Passion First team. She is a digital marketing specialist specializing in search engine optimization. She graduated from UNC Chapel Hill with her degree in Hispanic linguistics, but she found her passion actually in digital marketing. So she's looking to combine her love of languages and working with businesses in a future career in travel marketing. Came to the right place, right?
Perfect place.
Came to the right place.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm very excited to be speaking with everyone that's going to be on this panel tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, yo, let me bring up the next one. Rolanda Sanders. Let's bring her in. So we got a licensed clinical social worker serving as a therapist working with teens and adults. She completed her bachelor's at SIUE in 2016 and continued on to the University of Chicago Jane Addams School of Social Work to obtain her master's in social work, focusing on mental health in 2017. Most people think that social workers' cliche response to pursuing their career is, I always wanted to help people. But Rolanda, her interest in becoming a social worker revolved primarily around connection and connecting with others. As humans, we learn the most when socializing. She enjoys learning from her clients just as much as they learn from her, and her belief is that therapy is a collective effort. She enjoys working out, perfecting her craft as a self-taught braider. We'll get into that. But Rolanda is a member of the Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, and she hopes to go into private practice to continue serving teens and adults to promote a space for learning and healing. Everybody in the chat, let's welcome Miss Sanders in the building.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Let's go. Next up, man, another person that has become my brother, my family, my friend. This kid started our program, and I say kid, he's so wise up here. He came into our program a little bit after the start and just has been 100% ever since. Cleveland Clark, he's 23. He's an entertainer from the west side of Chicago. He's been acting since he was 8 years old. When he first felt the adrenaline from performing, he was like, that's it. I'm never turning back. That's what I'm going to do. So whether it's on screen or with your favorite shows, performing comedy, he's one of the hottest up-and-coming comedians, actors, goes by Clevo Clark. My man, Cleveland Clark. What up, bro?
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Living, bro. Living. Thank you for joining, man. Appreciate you.
And next up, let me bring up the incomparable Charlene Poindexter. So she starts it off by saying, what's a good therapist? Is it someone who listens to learn? Someone who creates a safe space, a creative space for you and with you. She says or declares therapy is her jam. Charlene is a school social worker and works with the current population of students in kindergarten to sixth grade. Along with earning her master's in social work licensing and a variety of several other certificates, including but not limited to trauma-informed care, opioid prevention, and teaching for wisdom. She has also earned a bachelor's in clinical counseling psychology. She is experienced in working with children from 5 all the way to geriatric care. Charlene also has experience in working with couples, families, and victims of domestic abuse. Charlene's motto is that healing can start at any age, powerful, and that refraining the mindset is essential to feeding the soul. Charlene uses a variety of techniques, including creative thinking, art, and music therapy, as well as the traditional methods of therapy. She says therapy is a rich investment we choose to make for ourselves. Let's create the blueprint. Welcome, Charlene.
Let's go.
Hey, everybody. I'm glad you are here. Yes.
All right. We have next up. I'm going to go because her bio's right in front of me. We're going to go with Danielle Johnson, Esquire, our lawyer on the panel today. Danielle's originally from Elgin. She decided at a young age that she wanted to be an attorney. She attended SIUE as an undergrad, receiving her Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science with a minor in Sociology in 2006. Then she went on to Southern Illinois University School of Law in Carbondale, where she participated on the mock trial team and was president of the Black Law Students Association. Graduated law school and obtained her JD in 2009. Her first job right out of school was Cook County State's Attorney's Office, where she spent her first 6 years as an attorney. She wanted to be a prosecutor because she wanted to help the system from within. Danielle left the office and worked for a nonprofit where she was the head of the criminal division in aiding rape survivors whose rapists were charged in criminal court. In this position, Danielle fought to protect survivors and their mental health records from reaching the defendants. She was so passionate about protecting her clients' rights that she was held in contempt of court. Let's go. Get it, girl. Today, Danielle's a staff attorney with the Illinois Guardianship and Advocacy Commission Legal Advocacy Service, where she defends the rights of adults and some DCFS wards who are being held involuntarily on locked psychiatric wards across Cook County. Give it up again for Danielle Johnson.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. One thing that I didn't put in there is that Queen is my cousin.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. It's a family affair right now. And Chris, that's Danielle Johnson, Esquire. You know, some respect on it. But all right, I'm going to bring up our last guest, Monique. Is Monique in the building? Oh, yes, she is. Yes, she is. All right. Now, Monique Gardner Scott. Monique is a licensed clinical professional counselor in the state of Illinois. Monique graduated with her Bachelor of Science from Western Michigan University and Master's in Counseling Psychiatry from the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Monique specializes in working with teenagers and emerging adults who deal with anxiety, complex trauma, depression, and adjustment concerns. Monique believes therapy is a collaborative relationship in which effort is put forth by both parties to continue a more meaningful change. Monique has a passion for helping others initiate and continue a lifelong journey of healing. Monique advocates for an integrative approach designated to maximize each individual's personal growth and place a great importance on the holistic well-being of each and every individual. Shout out to Monique. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you guys for having me. Excited to be here.
And thank y'all all so much for being here. I'm so thankful for Justin taking the lead on moderating this. I want to bring up these prizes again. If you're in the chat here, or if you know anybody that may not be in this chat, first of all, go ahead and share it out with your network. Share it out on Facebook, on YouTube. You can follow us on all platforms at Your Passion First. That's Your Passion, the number 1 ST. But if you are in the chat and you want to put a comment in, you want to put a question in, we're going to rank those at the end. As I mentioned, Light of Loving Kindness has 2 amazing interns that are going to be recording those, and then they're going to rank them at the end. And we're going to give away, I believe it's 6, it may even be 9 prizes. I know for sure there's 3 cash prizes, and then the rest of them will be free mentorships, whether it be mental health, workforce readiness, entrepreneurship. You'll get a chance to have a one-on-one session with some of our professionals here. So thank you all again for tuning in. Justin, take it away, bro.
All right. Florence Martin, I see you. Keep sharing, Florence. But hey, what's up, everybody? Like I said, I'm Justin. I'll be your moderator for today. I'm not going to dive right into it. I'm going to open this up to a nice question before we get started into some deep mental health concerns and just ways that we can all better ourselves. I'm going to start off by just a fun question. If you could have any artist, dead or alive, perform at your next birthday party. In the chat, this goes out to you too. If you could have anybody dead or alive perform at your next birthday party, who would it be? Who wants to kick us off?
I gotta go with 2 people. I'm gonna do 2 people because one of them on this call. The second is Jay-Z. The first is Queen Prophecy. So if I could get them 2 at my birthday party, dreams will be made.
Now that's love. Nobody else?
I would go Marvin Gaye. That's mine for sure.
Okay, so anyone who knows me knows that I love Beyonce. So I'm just going to have to say Beyonce. But I also have to say Queen because she is my number 1. So
tears. I'm going to go with Tupac. I need him there.
I gotta go with Prince.
Oh, it's gonna be mine. Prince is gonna be mine.
So, me. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm really smooth. I like the R&B, so like Mary J, something real smooth.
Okay.
I'd like to go with Bob Marley because I am Caribbean and I feel like the world needs the message of unity right now. So definitely him for sure.
Yes, this love that I'm feeling. Yes.
All right. Well, I got a little sense of you all and where you're coming from, and just remember, not everybody has to answer all the questions at all the times, But let's get into. Let's talk about mental health right now, and how do you all feel the state of mental health is in America or Chicago? Right now, has it always been this way? How did it change?
From the legal standpoint, and what I've been seeing is during this pandemic, at the start, there was like I had like clients overload. Then during the middle, it sort of died down. And now that the state has been opening up more, my caseload skyrocketed. So there are more adults who are like in locked psychiatric wards suffering from some sort of a mental health crisis at this point. And then I also have my teenagers who are DCFS wards. And because I represent them due to the Lee Wesley consent decree, because back in the 50s, DCFS did what it does now, which is a minor has to go to and it's in a locked behavioral health unit. And then they keep them there until they find placement. And they're usually there beyond medical necessity. So I'm the one arguing with DCFS saying, let them out, and bringing it to the court's attention that they are being held and they don't need to be. So I'm seeing a robust both of those populations.
I feel like when I'm looking at the state of mental health now, I'm seeing a greater amount of awareness coming out. But what I find that is happening is it looks like there's a lot that's been going on for a long time and nobody talked about it. Now we're opening the doors, but I think people are trying to figure out what to do about it now. So that's what I'm seeing, especially here in Chicago with the level of violence that everybody is having to endure. It's like this generational thing that has gone and been passed down for so long. And it's like now we see it as a problem, which is a good thing. We're recognizing that there's some changes that need to happen. But I think trying to figure out how to implement them changes is a little bit difficult for everybody right now. But I do see at least people are more aware that this is a real challenge out here for us. Without the mind, what do you have?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. There's a shift because I feel like I have an older parent. And so I feel like the older population, especially 60s, 70s, they're looking at it as kind of like a hush hush thing, like it's just brushed underneath the rug, or, there is no such thing as depression, or, you just have to get over it. Whereas now, because of our young people, our young adults, social media brings out a lot based on what's going on. So a lot of that awareness and the exposure to mental health is happening more now than it did before.
And seeing that with that awareness, coming out and seeing that just because, somebody's aware doesn't mean that it, hasn't been happening, for years. I can testify that, it happens every day to some capacity. When we talk about maybe those practical tools that you all, are professionally, capable of doing, or also just, things that you have learned over the years, what are some tools that you could share with the audience today about how you all deal with the stresses in your life? Are there any strategies you all can share?
For sure, one of them for me is definitely talking to some mentors and family members, especially if I know that they're in a mental place to be able to give advice. One thing that I've noticed is that whenever I go ask for help, I have to make sure that people also don't need help, because we don't want to have like a crying fest of who needs help and we're not available to help each other. So it's important to be considerate of people's needs and to be able to understand the timing of it. And because of that, I'm able to understand that there's different ways that I can cope besides reaching out, which is like self-reflecting, journaling, music, and other recreational activities, such as like playing a game, for example, just to name a few. Being able to understand that there's different coping mechanisms out there instead of the traditional ones that you see on TV is very important for the youth. Because I feel like we idolize certain unhealthy coping mechanisms due to the music that we listen to and the social media presence that we see all day, every day. So.
Okay, Keyshawn, I am like a proud therapist right now. You're definitely saying things. I love the fact that you gave the fact that it was multiple ways to deal, because I think that's what's important, is that there is no cookie cutter way to deal with life. So being able to, number one, you want to acknowledge the fact that there's something going on. I think a lot of times we leave ourselves to the side and we just keep going on, but the self needs you. Don't leave the self. Make sure you tune in with yourself. So I think in allowing yourself to be aware that something's going on and being okay with trying different things. Sometimes people aren't always going to be there, and recognizing that you're not always going to be there for others. Maybe you can do things like Keyshawn said. I play games. I watch comedy shows. I love to laugh. I may go outside. I may work out. Obviously, I do music. I definitely use that as a way. So just finding what you can do. I try to teach clients, don't try to do what you see the rest of the world do, because it may not be within your grip. Let's make sure that you can actually do it so that it actually gets done, and it serves you personally. So,
and piggybacking off of that, I feel like another way that I've also been able to cope is being able to set SMART goals during those times when I'm really down and out, when I really feel emotional in terms like what do I need to do so I don't feel like this again, so I can make it less of a chronic thing.
I love that self-empowerment. Yes, reminding myself that you can even when you feel like you can't.
Yeah, I second a lot of that. It's doing what's within, it's not cookie cutter. And then also I think about accessibility. So some things that we're able to do to cope with when we're at home, when we just hear some bad news, it might be different when you're at work or when you're out in the community. So understanding that you're not going to always have access to this one particular coping skill. So when I'm at home, if I'm feeling a little iffy, I might sit down and color. Like I have adult coloring books. But then after a while, I'll be like, okay, I'm tired of looking at all these colors. So now what am I gonna do? And that might be for me, I'm gonna get up and start cleaning something. I'm gonna listen to some music to kind of get me in a better mood. Take a break outside, play with my dog. It's like other little things that I'm able to do to kind of bring me a little bit of joy. And ultimately, if all that doesn't, work, cry. I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna move on because at the end of the day, I can't think irrationally. I have to just keep it trucking. And so I'm gonna get that emotion out and I'm gonna keep it moving because if I cry about it now, I'm wasting time. So let me get it out and then let me keep moving.
I like that irrationally, because a lot of times, I always tell people, give yourself a little time to sit with that so that you're not making decisions. Because a lot of times we'll be making permanent decision off of temporary feelings. And so you want to be mindful of that. Make sure you check in, deal with that emotion before. So sometimes you may need to cry, sometimes you may need to sleep. Just don't make no decision.
And I'm also glad you said that. I forget. I know one of you guys said that one of your favorite artists is Beyonce, and I read up on. She says she gives herself like one time a week to feel sorry for herself. It's usually on Sundays, and then she keeps it pushing for the rest of the 6 days. I do take heed to some things. I'm not a part of the Beehive, but I do take note.
I thank you that you take note from the Beehive. So I do things. I love to cook. It's the one thing. So if I am feeling down, I'm usually in the kitchen chopping something. It is literally the best thing you can do if you're upset. And yeah, it may be scary to my husband, but but then I'll like cook. I've been doing a lot of baking lately with my I have an 11-year-old, so I've been doing a lot of baking with her, And then I also have an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old. My 21-year-old, she is all about binging any Disney princess movie that she can find. And then my 18-year-old, the way he gets away, he plays video games. That's what he does. And I had to recognize that, okay, he may need to play it at this time, type deal as a parent from the parental perspective.
Danielle, I'm glad you said that. Oh, I'm sorry, Justin.
Oh no, please.
Because I love to cook too, girl. Okay, that's my therapy. That is my jam. I gotta have it, and I cook from scratch. It's no box, nothing. We cooking from scratch. I'm a little old lady, y'all. I know I look young, but I'm a little old lady, but I love to do that. That's my therapy. Me and Queen Prophecy are also very, very close. We talk every day. As clinicians, we help each other out. We feed each other. It's like, for me, I don't only tell my problems, I listen to. And I feel like being a good listener is a healing process for me. So with all those things, and I love animals. So if I can be around a fur baby, it's yes. And I got Queen Prophecy into that too, period. I'm so glad.
Got me a cat, y'all.
I got me one too.
I have 3 over here, so yeah.
Okay.
I love this. Yes. So that's some therapy for me. Thank y'all. That's all I need to say.
Yep, Daryl's got it. I see Daryl in the chat right now. You have pet therapy, canine therapy. There's a whole lot of different holistic modalities, that we can tap into. And Keishwan, what you said about just going against the counterculture, a lot of times out there we're so, just cancel it, just get angry, and different things like that. So it's different, the way you're coming back at it is powerful, especially as a young man, shout out to you,
it's hard.
we got a whole bunch of clinicians. So I really want to kind of lean into that right quick. What are ways that you all kind of set a space for young people to kind of emote and feel safe and kind of lean into their emotions?
It depends on the person on the youth that I'm dealing with and what their needs are. A lot of times I have to have multiple things. Music is definitely one thing I have to have. Sometimes I have to have things that they can play with. Sometimes it's games. Being able to get them in that relaxed space, and just getting to know them. I think sometimes we just go right into thinking that we can tell them anything, and I don't really feel like you can tell anybody anything about life without understanding where they're coming from. So I think the first part is hearing them. Let's hear what they have to say. And then we can figure out if there's anything. And it's really not us telling them. It's really them telling us what's working for them and what's not. And we're just helping guide that so they can see. So you got a discrepancy here. Which one is going to work for you? And then, that's because that's the most important thing, is to create skills that are transferable past the therapy. I want you to be able to go into that world and still be able to manage if I'm not there. So it's so imperative that I empower my youth.
I second that. Yes. Working with youth I feel like it's a blessing. They are really, really, they something else. One thing about me, I let them know I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't want them to think just because I'm an adult, like I have all the answers and that it's a fix off of everything. No, Miss Poindexter, sometimes she do not know and she messes up, and that's okay. So letting them know that they really appreciate honest people.
Yeah.
And I'm about as honest as you can get. So just letting them be able to be themselves. And I'll laugh. I dance. Sometimes they laugh at me because I get the dancing. I don't know all the moves. I'm like, can you teach me that? Teach me some. And then they get laughing like, Miss Poindexter, no, yeah. They try to do it with me or something like that. But I let them have fun in my office, and that's how they can relax. And they just end up talking to me because I make it easy for them. Or I tell them like, you don't have to talk about it right now. We could just relax. So therapy isn't always about talking about it. Sometimes people just need a space to just, because they got a lot going on up here. They don't know how to get it out. So we could be quiet. Or I could listen to some music. You could listen to some music. If you need to cry, if you need to yell, I tell my students, like, you can do that. You don't have to be afraid. You're not scaring me. But I want you to be able to get it out. I don't want you to go out there and do something that's going to set you up for failure. Just be yourself here. And I'm not going to think of you as this horrible person or nothing like that. And I noticed that kids are really or even young adults, adolescents, they'll take to me more because I am so honest. I ain't trying to be perfect out here.
Right.
I agree with Queen and Charlene. I think every clinician's favorite phrase is meet them where they are. I think that's so important in building a relationship with kids and teenagers. Being able to build that relationship brick by brick is something that I think it is often missed with adults. They think because they've experienced it, because they've grown, they can just tell you exactly what the problem is and what the solution is also. And I think with teenagers, especially, being able to, like Charlene said, really listen and pay attention to what's going on with them internally and externally.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It's definitely meeting the kid, the adolescent, the teen where they're at. I think one thing that I do is I'll talk about something completely different. How was your day? What did you do last weekend? What's some, your high and your lows for the week? And then sometimes within that conversation about something that has nothing to do with what I really want to talk to them about, they end up talking about it. Or sometimes just simply being there, being a body, a presence, is helpful. Like I've been where I've walked around a parking lot with a kid. It was just to give that person some air. And it was just like, as we were walking, they just got to talking. And I was like, oh, okay. It's not where did that come from? This is what I was waiting for, but I was going to allow you to lay it out when you felt like it.
Now that we're on the topic, can we talk about the negatives of this situation? Because I know me and Cleveland, we chatted about it briefly when we was in the grocery store about the repercussions of people not listening and only listening to help, how they want to help you, and how the longevity of that actually impacts a lot of the youth. Like for me, it's hard for me to open up and really talk to people and ask for help because nobody was really listening, nor was they trying to understand me as a young age. So now I'm conditioned to just like figure it out until I literally am like in over my head, and then I speak up and like, why you ask me earlier? Because I got that, I have anxiety when it comes to ask people, so I've been trying to figure out ways. Me and Cleveland, we be having long conversations about this. So I'm glad y'all brought this up, and to be able to still have a platform to talk now the way I do, I feel like I articulate myself and my emotions a lot more than I did when I was younger. And that's why I feel like a lot of people come to me for advice because they know that I'm knowledgeable, but it's the fact that I'm able to speak on it without feeling guilty about it later that inspires people to come to me and ask them what should they do in situations. All the while without me giving them biased advice. I always look at two sides of the coin and figure out which side of the coin represents you best so you can have the more accurate decision. So.
Go ahead, Keyshawn. I am proud of you. Just in the very short time that I have known you, you have really seriously
I be
grown.
doing my stuff. I don't got nothing else to do.
Keyshawn was quiet when I met him, y'all. Quiet. But to see, him, to see him talking the way he's talking right now, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm having a tearful mama moment.
Not
right
before
now.
you make me cry. I'm over here trying to look hard in the camera and all that. Sitting back with the paintings in the background. You making me all sentimental.
I love this. Yes, y'all. Vulnerability is essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, vulnerability. You're absolutely right. It's very essential, and a lot of vulnerability comes from the creative arts and things that you pour yourself into. And I know we got some digital marketers on the line. I know we got some freelance artists as well as some models. So I really kind of want to lean into that now and just really talk about how does mental health relate to your creativity? Denra, Cleveland, or Keyshawn?
I kind of like to extend the floor to Cleveland. The side actor, he been too monotone, too poker faced. I need to see some.
Right?
Maybe he's acting like we aren't here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what you doing, man?
Are you ready for the next comedian?
So anybody who knows me knows I'm just chilling. I mean, I'm real. Look, I don't get in all that. I'm just chilling. One thing I will say is I feel like I think I've been numb to certain situations. Just like, growing up where I grew up. Walk home from school one day, hear something up the street happen, go to school, and now kids that was just in your classroom yesterday are not there no more. We all know what happened, So I feel like with that, I'm kind of just almost desensitized in a way. Like it happens so much that it's just like another one, And I feel like, I feel like with acting and just entertainment in general, I'm really able to kind of tap into some of that type of stuff, because I am so laid back and chill in my regular life that like when it's time for me to embody a whole nother character or like, I don't know, like, how like method actors, like they spend months of preparation to go do, I don't do all that. It ain't that deep to me, but I do get into the mentality of like, okay, who is this person? What are they thinking? Like what made them this way? What made them think this way? Like everything like that. So when I go into it and I play it, I can play it accurately and not me playing somebody else,
We're all like, yeah.
Dinner, you want to talk about a little bit how about digital marketing and using your creativity has impacted your mental health?
Absolutely. So I tend to use creativity, especially in the digital marketing realm. I do a lot of content creation, especially with the company that I work with now. I work with a Black-owned candle company, which is super cool. I come home smelling like cookies all the time, so I love it. And for me, when I'm frustrated by something that, like in a bad frustration, I try to turn that into good frustration through different challenges. So for example, I was making a Instagram post where I had to do some digital design stuff, and I'm not too good with the digital art realm as of yet, but it was an exciting frustration to me because I understood that I was developing a skill. And for example, I love languages. I'm a polyglot, and I don't mind being frustrated by languages at all. And that is also a realm of creativity, because now you're trying to learn how to say these different things and pulling these grammars and stuff together. And language is very creative, like authors, poets, queen, you're a singer, like you understand like how creative language can be. So I try to put my frustrations of the day or anything that I'm feeling in that manner, and when I put it into my creativity, I feel like I get a burst of like good content. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be frustrated to make my the things that I'm trying to do, but it is a good outlet for me because it is productive and it's advancing me as well. So that's how I feel about it.
So you redirect your energy.
Yes.
So there's
Try
that
to do some
I'm gonna use this
transmuting
energy,
work.
I'm gonna do this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
Turn bad frustration into good frustration. Anybody
Yes,
else
love
have some experience with that?
Yeah.
I do. I'm entertained.
I call it character development.
I mean, I do it in a different way because being an attorney in court, I will turn frustration with the judge into creativity in closing arguments. I will turn it into anything and then sort of look. Now we're all on Zoom, so I'm not at risk of being carted away in cuffs. So I literally.
I know that's right.
You're being held in contempt. No, I'm not.
Hey, Lawrence, come over here, buddy.
Close his laptop.
Right, exactly. So for me, it's more of I use that frustration because a judge is not treating my clients or giving them the due justice that they deserve, or treating their word as what it should be, and that the hospital and these psychiatrists who are trying to either shock my clients' brains or mandate medication, that they actually hear my clients and see them. So I do it in the most indignant way I can, and just put it out there, just to show, it shows my client who's usually on the Zoom, that one, I am fighting for them, but two, it's showing them a clear dynamic of this is how you can use that. You get mad, write something, because that's surely what I do.
Yeah, I definitely redirect the energy. I always redirect whatever's going on. So like, I don't care what's going on in life. Something could be completely crazy. If I'm working with youth that day, then I'm going to use that same energy to make sure I give all my love to the youth I'm working with that day. I may put it in a song. If I get upset, I need that's a subject I can talk about in music. I'm gonna write it out in music. I'm going to find some way to get it out. Arts is just a really great way because I also get to perform it. So then I get to really use that energy to push it. So also I'll put it on a stage.
Yo, Queen, that's a good point. Like me, I kind of redirect the energy, and I use it to motivate me to the max. It's crazy because let's say something negative around me happens. In my mind, I'm like, yo, how can I get away from this situation as quickly as possible, right? So now I'm thinking of TV shows and movies and songs and everything. And I'm like, yo, I want to go do all this right now, take off and not even have to deal with this no more. And that's kind of my problem sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of live in my head so much that it's like in my mind, it's already played out. You feel me? I've already won my awards, and you know what I mean? So,
For real.
So in real life, it's like, okay, how do I execute it? Because like I said, redirecting the energy is cool to motivate me and get me to want to do it, but then I get stuck. So it's cool to a certain extent, at least for me.
Chris, you got a big responsibility on your hand when we talk about redirecting energy and things like that. I mean, you founded a whole organization that was pretty much, about using creativity, to help people accomplish their dreams. Can you talk a little bit about, yourself founding an organization, using creativity, and how you supplement it with mental health?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. When I had great parents, and I think I saw my mom tuning in. My mom, my stepdad, my dad um, provided amazing resources for me. But as a young adult, I think a lot of times you feel constricted in this box of how people think that you should show up in the world. And that's not always how you want to show up in the world. It doesn't mean that we're not influenced by our peers and by our parents and by our mentors. But there comes a time when, that care comes from creating that thing that's inside of you that you love, that you really want to be attracted to, and then putting yourself around those people that have that same love, that have that same passion. And you have to look outside of that box, right? A lot of jobs, I read a stat once that I think 50% of jobs in the future aren't even created yet. Like, so young adults that are looking to get into careers, like they're going to be in careers that have not even been created yet. So you don't have to necessarily be in this box. You can think about what you're truly passionate about. You can find that first and foremost, and then you can define it with proper mentorship and a proper circle of people around you and proper resources, and then you can follow that right into the workforce. And that's easier said than done. It takes discipline, it takes passion, it takes an undying will, because sometimes you got to do that work for free. If that's something you love, you're not getting paid right off the bat. You're just putting yourself around people and opportunities to gain that wisdom and that knowledge first. And then you start to get paid later on down the road. So that's really what we're focused on, is putting these young adults into those environments, project-based learning environments, where that mental health can be first, right? We all have to deal with that. But then from there, I know I'm the most mentally healed when I can create something of my own, and then furthermore, take that and connect with people with that creation. So that's really what our focus is at Your Passion First.
And that kind of gives that self-empowerment piece. I'm sorry. When I'm looking at how you said I'm taking that creativity, and then to be able to watch that thing that you're creating come to fruition, it empowers the mind so much to say, I did that, man. And then you know you can. So now you're motivated to do something else, which is amazing.
Exactly. And I think Amanda, shout out to Amanda in the chat. We're talking about those baby steps. It's one step in front of the other. It's not right to the Oscars, but let's go to the Tonys first, or at least let's go to the ETA over there on Chicago. But Cleveland, I see you. But definitely, let's talk about those baby steps. With organizations like Your Passion First, we're helping you get there. Queen, but you brought up a great point, and I really want to dive into your social emotional curriculum. Can you share a little bit about that and what you've been creating?
Yes, absolutely. So with I've been dealing with a lot of trauma within our Black and Brown communities, and so I wanted to create something for youth where they can learn self-awareness, and it kind of goes from self-awareness to us awareness. So now it's starting out with let's deal with the self, but they're with a bunch of other other teenagers or other young adults that are with them, so they all understand together. But the point is so that you can basically become the change you all want to see. That's the whole point. But you got to start with yourself. And we got to start focusing on where the self is and owning what's going on within ourselves. And then I kind of use music, of course, throw a little hip hop in there. It kind of motivates the change. So we may come up with some chants. We may come up with our own. If I got enough skills in the room, we will write a whole song. But it's usually to empower the youth. So I always tell the youth, nothing personal to the music that's going out there today, but doesn't always resonate with who you are and what you want to see in this world. And so I want them to basically create things that look more like them. And I noticed that when I was working with the youth and creating the music, I wrote a song called Born Stars. And it talks about changing the face of hip hop and giving it a positive twist. And the kids were loving that. And I was like, oh, so y'all want to talk positive? Like, man, Sean, we like the beats, man. We don't be knowing what they be saying all the time. They started bringing me different tracks of all the different artists that they got out there, Migos, all of them, Moneybagg Yo. and we just rewrite the music for something, bringing something more positive. But I want to make sure their voice is in it, and they're talking about what they want to see in their world, and that totally amps them up. So, bam, there's my social emotional skills curriculum.
Let's go.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Now you talk about hip hop, and we all know the 3 pillars. What is it? Breakdancing, MCing, and like graffiti. What if there was a 4th element that would have to do something with charity or giving back? Like you didn't just drop a bag at the wherever you dropped the bag, but you dropped the bag at the community center.
I like that.
That could be something. Turn the triangle into a square. But Charlene, I'm throwing it to you now because I know you also use different holistic practices in your therapy methods as well. So I want you to dive into some of those different modalities you're working with as well.
Yeah, so I do a lot of different things. I have a really creative mind, so I really go based off the shorties. I call them the shorties. I go based off of what they feeling. Like if they want to sing, we gonna sing. I love performing arts. So if they want to sing, we can sing. Then I can't footwork to save my life. Don't tell nobody, y'all, because I know I'm from Chicago. I should know. Somebody teach me. But I be trying to do a little some. But jokes, all type of stuff. I do a lot of one-on-one and group therapy, just depending on the children. I know some people are really shy, so I try to get into what in their mind and what they like, what they feel, or I tell them something about me that may make them more comfortable. Because I feel like if you don't know this person, why should I talk to you? I don't know you, so why should I say something to you? So sometimes I feel like kids may be the easiest people to talk to because I don't know, they just so blunt. So they gonna tell me the truth. I need to hear it. Cognitive behavioral therapy, I know I do a lot of that with them because sometimes they need a lot of in the moment. Yes, Queen, yes, because you already know we be about that. They need a lot of in the moment type of stuff. Because it's a school and because things move so fast, they need somebody to tell them something in the moment. So, and then play therapy too, because I do right now. I've worked with high schoolers too, but right now I'm working with like younger and middle school kids. So I do a lot of play therapy too, which I find is really, really helpful. The more I play with them, the more they have something to say. So, but yeah, and then I also, and I have a YouTube channel I just started, Thoughts of a Therapist. Because I'm like, what do people need to hear this? Some of the stuff I do record is about in the school, me acting a fool, y'all, me acting a fool. But some of the stuff is in my home, and I got the Car Chronicles, all of that. So I'm like, just different platforms for the little shorties to see, and for adults too. So I try to make it holistic.
What's that at? Where can we find out about the Car Chronicles?
My YouTube, Thoughts of a Therapist.
Thoughts of a Therapist. Everybody go check that out at Thoughts of a Therapist on YouTube. I know some of y'all on YouTube right now. Don't leave us right now, but afterwards, go ahead and subscribe to Thoughts of a Therapist. Yo, appreciate Monique. It. We're talking about that, like just different modalities, getting people involved. And I know a big part of your bio was talking about that collaborative process, So like, how do you like prepare people for that collaborative process, or what can people do before they even reach you, to get ready to share and just be a part of that process?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Cut out a little bit.
I hear you.
Okay, cool. So for me personally, I really think therapy is the one thing that you don't have to prepare for. You come in as you are and lay all your stuff out on the table. That's for what I mean by collaboration is, I mean that really the client is the person who is the expert. The client knows their story. They know everything that's happened, and they know how they're going to progress in that, right? And so in collaborating, the therapist is really the person who is walking along with them in that journey.
So y'all heard it. Y'all don't even have to prepare. It's not a study. It's not a test. It's not an exam. You just got to show up as you are and they'll guide you along. You guide her along. You know what I'm saying? So that's really profound. That's definitely profound. I know somebody's out there, or somebody on watching this on rebroadcast is gonna, have that weight lifted off them. Like, I'm good as I am, and I'm ready right now, and it's time to start my journey. So thanks for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that for sure. Keishwan, what's happening? You still with me over there?
I'm still here. I'm just looking at you guys.
Yo, share a little bit about your art, man, and how you navigate, kind of sharing yourself and just your whole mental health journey.
So to put it short and sweet, I'll reiterate again my introduction. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. So I do a lot of fashion design, a lot of modeling. As you can see, I do some paintings. There go my girl's painting right there. She's also an artist. For the most part, I've just been really figuring out how I can connect the need scope and color theory into my everyday life, because I know that different colors spark different emotions, and if I'm able to depict different pictures with those colors spark different emotions, I'll be able to create a new language to be able to connect the people who just don't got those voices, or people like me who don't speak up and don't feel comfortable expressing themselves. I can just draw a picture, put some colors on it, and now we're on the same page. And I feel like I was able to translate that same thought process into fashion. We're making garments, looking back on the popular styles and the history of Black people, being able to see different vibrations with the 808s and how the frequencies make you feel in the music to be able to make better beats. So I went into producing. I went into understanding songwriting and how ghostwriters work and the genders that different media outlets push, and being able to understand where propaganda comes from and the purpose of propaganda. So with that being said, I was able to find a new foundation on what it means to be an individual and what it means to be an artist, to be able to inspire people to not make mainstream art, but make art that makes their soul smile, that makes them more passionate to get up every day to actually do something with themselves. It's not necessarily a money grab. It's really just a way of life, because nobody still in this world can tell me what we as humanity are doing here. So with that being said, I don't see why we just can't sit down, relax, enjoy ourselves, and do what makes us happy. And I applied that same idea with how I express myself, how I talk to people, how I give advice, how I get advice, how I ask for help, and so on and so forth. I feel like it's a domino effect, and you just got to put the dominoes in specific places to make it work for you.
Yo, definitely taking art on a macro level, yo. Yeah, I love it too, Charlene. Yo, I love it too. Can anybody relate and just taking their topics, taking their craft to somewhat of a macro level, and using it to influence the world? That's what I'm hearing.
I feel like if you invest in the public and you invest in your audience, you won't always be asking for money, because your quality of life would be just that much good that you can make money obsolete in your life because you got good people around you.
Oh no, we lost Monique, but I'm sure she'll be back.
No.
She'll be back. Yo, wow. I mean, and when you talk about, I see the same thing, kind of where you standing at, Denver as well. When we talk about, just using the digital marketing to just kind of influence the masses, or a certain landscape or something like that. How are you bringing like some humanistic elements into your art to create, mass appeal in a positive way?
I feel like going around talking to people and actually not doing networking for the intentions of being a better business, but being a better person. I'm able to get inspirations off people's stories and experiences and tell their stories through my art. So to reiterate that again, it's more like a lot of my inspiration doesn't really come from me. It comes from someone else and how I internalize their experiences. So it's never always about me. None of the art that I do, even this piece right here, I did this because of it's an abstract, but I did this because of the protest that was happening during George Floyd. And I actually have the original picture of it. So it's to me it looks like it's in disarray. To the naked eye, it looks like it's messy. It looks like I just threw something up there. But if I was to explain every single thing up there down to the colors, you would understand where the picture came from, why it was so inspirational, and why I drew certain things the way that I did. I felt that once you're able to articulate certain things about you, you'll be able to just simply it's hard to explain. I just know I'm so deep into the rabbit hole of art that I just literally just look, because I've gotten so used to just translating my words down into drawings that I never felt the need to go back and explain to people, and rather I just decided to build the bridge over so I wouldn't have to keep explaining to you, keep giving you fish, instead I just teach you how to fish. And now we all have a bridge to just go on and we can fish together.
Yeah, using music as a way, like I wrote a song. I'll never forget this. I wrote a song, and when I wrote the song, it was just personal to me. It was called "Gotta Let It Go." I just wanted to let some feelings out. Basically, I felt like I was turning a new leaf over in life, and I just was letting everything in my past go. And I put it all on a song. I remember I cried when I made that song. I let a client hear that song, and I'll never forget that response in that moment. This is somebody that did not want to talk to anybody ever, very anger filled. But it was beautiful to see when he looked at me, he said, Miss Shauna, you smiling today though. And I was like, I am. And so that moment for him, like, really changed his thought process. Like, wow, there's hope. And that's when I was realizing that even taking my personal life experiences, throwing it on a song and letting somebody hear it, like how much that resonates with somebody else, that it may pull somebody else out. And that is kind of what pushes me to take my life experiences and put it in a song, because you just never know who out there is relating to you. And I said, wow, there's billions of people in this world. We probably are relating to a lot of people if you really we think we're different, but we're a lot alike.
The way I see it, we're all saying the same things, just in different words. So as long as you understand the message behind everything, everything is the same. Not trying to make everybody lose their individuality here, but I'm just implying that if you look between the lines and you get good at looking in between the lines, it's easier for you to see through people's intentions on how you can help.
Definitely.
And I love how you put it at the bottom of it. You know, it's just like, because a lot of people say, oh, you can see people intentions, you can read people, you could try to do something nefarious with it. You know, you instantly just anchor that in help and goodness. And I think that's definitely what the world is about. I'm hearing a whole lot of things about connection right now, you know, and I know one person, you know, got into the game just purely off connection. And I'm talking about you, Rolanda. Can you share a little bit about, you know, your journey with connection and why you feel like that's so important?
So I think everybody kind of hit on it a little bit. Connection is honestly, for me personally, it's kind of in a sense like if you don't feel like you want to talk to people, or you feel like you may not be a good person for someone to get advice from, or vice versa, you feel yourself being alone. And one of the things that sometimes gets us that we are alone. So being able to connect with somebody, and it could be over the littlest things. It doesn't have to be that everything that you went through, I went through, because that's not how all the people actually connect. Because that's just similarities. Because at the end of the day, I tell my clients that just because you went through something and you went through something and they're the same situation, the way it impacted you was different. The person who may have did it was a different person or a different relationship. So it's always going to be different. It's okay to have similarities, but what really connects you is kind of like, for me, I would say it's more so of the emotion behind it and being able to express yourself to heal. And so, like I said, I learn from my clients because there's a lot of things, especially the teens. I mean, I'm still kind of young, but it's some stuff I be like, wait a minute. So TikTok, I don't know how to work it. YouTube, I don't know how. I've started a YouTube channel on mental health and beauty and hair. Yeah, I did one video. Editing took me a week. I was over it. No. And so, at one point, I was telling my kids, like, yeah, I did a YouTube channel. You can follow me. I'm going to do hair. I'm going to do hair tutorials. And I was like, and they was like, Miss Rolanda, when's the next video? Girl, I don't know. That takes too long. And so, at that moment, if my therapy session turned into you helping me with YouTube, that's okay, because that's bridging the gap. We're connecting on something. And it may not necessarily be talking about your past history and your problems, because eventually that's going to come. And I let that be. But we connect on different levels, and it can be, it's just like throwing yourself in a room with a whole bunch of people you don't know. Something that's gonna connect you is looking around and you're like, this person is wearing this, or this person has this piece of jewelry. Um, this person may just be talking, or they look like they're alone too in a corner, just like I am. So how about I take the step to like go say hi, how are you? Um, so that's what I think about connection, and then networking. At the end of the day, it's all about networking. I think I learned that mostly after I joined Sigma Gamma Rho, because that does get you places just to be able to talk and be on the same page sometimes. But then also when you are struggling and you need help for something, you're able to connect and network with other people so that at least you can get somewhere. It may not be kind of like Cleveland was talking about. You know what? It's all figured out in my head. But at the end of the day, I still need to do those baby steps. So by me talking to somebody and getting and networking, I might be able to get to step one. Step five might not come until another 2 years, but at least I can get step one together. So.
And networking is important. Just to throw this in there are 3 young ladies on here that I met through work. We're not working together, but we are still together. And that's Rolanda, Charlene, and Monique. We all met as therapists doing this work out here. But because we all were pretty much, me and Rolanda and Monique were working with teenagers, we all understood that, how to deal with this. And I was like, man, they are perfect to work with. And I love the fact that they went ahead and joined in. Charlene, I also met at ComSec down there in the NBC building, kind of being a guidance counselor there. Again, networking, realizing we were on the same page. My cousin, she's my family. She's working mental health. It just felt right for us to start pulling this in together, and we all wanted to make a difference. So, and then we're all able to feed off each other. If I feel like I need somebody to talk to, if I'm going through things, if I want to know something, there's no way for me to do it by myself. I'm only one brain. I'm only one finger. So I need another finger, another hand, another foot. So I'm gonna call on as many people as I can to help us through this, and that also encourages us through mental health. You don't got to do it by yourself. Somebody else is going through it too.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Just to piggyback off that is another thing as far as connection. I learned from Shauna. I learned from her a lot when we were working together, because I was like, you know what? I never looked at it from that perspective. So she helped me evolve as a clinician as well. So I love learning not only from my clients, but also for the people that I work close with. So that would be definitely another thing. And I think, that was pretty much it.
That was beautiful.
I was gonna say,
it teaches me a lot too.
Yeah, piggybacking off of the importance of connection and networking, I think one of the things that's important about that is being very conscious about who it is that you're networking with, who it is that you're coming into contact with. And one very small example, actually, that Chris helped me out with is that when I was on the call to first start working with Your Passion First, I was going through what I didn't know, but I had to Google this feeling of empathy fatigue. And I had just been going on this binge of like YouTube videos of seeing just like, I guess, the struggles of people around the world, especially Black people. And I was just so upset and like angry. And I'm a pretty upbeat person. And I was just like, I don't understand why I'm like so angry and like upset. And I was talking to Chris like on the onboarding call. This is the first time that we're ever talking to each other. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much going on that I can't do anything. And he was like, there is always something that you can do. And even just that small sentence, I was like, wow. And it really solidified that I was supposed to be working with Your Passion First, because I was like, he is helping. We're all helping to uplift the very same people that like I've been seeing. And I was like, that alone just healed like what I was feeling and helped to settle me, because I knew that even though I'm still learning while I'm on this project, that I was going to be in community with people like this blessing here tonight. I was going to be in community with people, and I was going to be able to see visible changes. And I knew that I was helping like an issue that I cared so much about. So I really appreciate the opportunity, and like, yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Chris, I honestly can't
I
thank
keep
you enough.
tearing up, y'all. Y'all can't see it, but it's tears over here. All right.
It's
I
the greater
appreciate
good.
that.
It's
Yeah.
definitely the greater good. When I think about connection, like all of us are from different walks of life. All of us are in different professions. It's for the greater good, and we're going to reach so many more people.
Absolutely.
When we talk about that, also your passion first said 11 minutes ago that y'all had 4 minutes left. I didn't get a chance to let y'all in or let y'all know, but y'all don't have any more time left for submission. So I hope y'all got those questions in, which means it's almost time for me to wrap it up. I want to leave everybody with just one question, and I really want us to put our visionary hats on, especially when Dinner's talking about, like meeting people and working in different sectors, but all for the greater good. When we talk about the many other change agents that are probably just like all of us, working in government and entertainment and driving the buses, and just like the garbage people, like everybody's out here working and getting it in various ways. What do we want to see different in 10 to 15 years? What do we hope that the world's going to look like? What do we hope that we're going to be pushing towards?
I would say being open to helping one another, because I know in like our community, others like to turn us against each other, and I really hate that, because I love my people so much, and that's an understatement. Like, I love y'all. I can't say it enough. Okay. Yeah. So just to have us love on each other more, that connection, period. Keyshawn, I'm gonna give you one back. Okay?
I'm like, wait, you don't see this?
But yes, like it's there. To have that, because we don't need to be enemies. We can all win. Like,
yes,
that jealousy don't need to be there. So just uplifting each other more, helping out each other more. I would really love to see that. So I do want to see us win.
I agree. Normalize not normalizing the crab in the barrels mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are some powerful people.
Period. Like I tell everybody, there's never going to be another you. So what you bring, what you have, is just enough. We needed that thing. We didn't need what they have and they have. We needed your thing. So I would definitely like to see that, is that people are embracing themselves more and bringing more, so then we can really see how powerful we are. Because what is all of this going to look like when we put it all together? I would like to be mental health, not be something that we're just aware of, something that we're practicing. Something that we're checking in with one another. It's a normal thing. I want to see people walking down the street saying hi. I speak to everybody I see, y'all. I call everybody love. Hey, love. I call everybody love.
Girl, I say, hey, king. Hey, queen.
Girl, he's looking at me weird, but
they don't know how to respond to that, so I would like to see communities. Yeah, like, did she just speak to me?
Yes, I did, honey.
Did she just call me royalty? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I want us talking to each other. Like, what's up, fam?
I do.
Yeah. I want us to get back to those days that we asking each other for each other's sugar and Kool-Aid. And you got the sugar, I got the Kool-Aid. You got the peanut butter, I got the jelly.
Yes. Uplift mental health, because it's so important. I really want to break that stigma of mental health being, you got to be crazy to go. No. It's starting to be more sought after, but I would really like to see it more, like more people do it. I'm always promoting mental health.
Going off of what you both just said, I would like to see more vulnerability, because even Queen, what you were just saying, like, I want people to be able to ask for a cup of sugar. Nowadays, people don't even want to tell other people that they ran out of sugar. So how are you supposed to be able to lean on your community, lean on your people, if you yourself don't even want to recognize what's going on within yourself? Like, for example, I was having a talk with some friends, and we were getting kind of deep about like what was going on in their head, and they were like, this is the point where I usually stop. And that's the thing. It's like, you're not being vulnerable with yourself to be able to recognize what's going on inside of your head, and you are the person that knows yourself the best. So if you don't know yourself, how are you supposed to change your actions and then be able to interact with other people in the way that will make everyone better? And going off of vulnerability, it's safety. Whether that be a safe space to talk, whether that be physical safety, because that's also a huge issue, especially within our community. I think the number one thing is absolutely vulnerability. And also, speaking to the last part about addressing people as king and queen, I learned this from this preacher that I watch on Instagram. Whenever someone says, "You're beautiful," "I think you're so pretty," I always say, "I am a reflection of you." And I want everyone to take that. Whenever someone compliments you, I say, "I'm a reflection of you." And that catches people off guard too.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Not me. Like, and I used to be
It
like that
does.
too. I was like, if someone ever complimented me, I'd be like, "Oh no, you, blah blah blah."
I like
I'm a
that a
reflection of
lot.
you. We are mirrors of each other. If you are beautiful, I'm beautiful, and everyone here is beautiful. So that's my little contribution.
Loving all this love in the room. The vibe is like,
Right?
oh,
That way up.
I
Yes.
love it.
It's a great segue into Black History Month, man. I'm so happy.
Isn't it? Buddy.
But I deal with law and the government, and so that aspect of things. What I would like to see in 10 to 15 years is that my clients aren't penalized because they admit a vulnerability. Because oftentimes that's exactly what happens, I would love for a judge to see my clients as people and not just a number on a docket. I want them to see that it is that person's life that they are inflicting orders on. I'd love for a psychiatrist to actually work with my clients and not get mad that my clients disagree with the treatment plan. Putting these hefty medications that cause so many side effects, or even disagree because they do not want their brain shocked. Because in Illinois, electroconvulsive therapy is still a thing. Okay. So I would love for those things to happen. I would love for more advocacy for mental health resources. Our communities are lacking it. It's lacking in the city, it's lacking in the burbs. That needs to change so that people can engage. And I say this, everybody in my family has a therapist. From my 9-year-old to my 21-year-old. And it's one that and it's because they need that outlet that is not mom, that is not dad, that is somebody whom they can be vulnerable with. And I can tell you that since that has occurred, they feel just that much more safe and that much more secure. So
Justin, let me jump in real quick. I got two people that we're gonna have to bring in, the judges, and I have two people that have volunteered to jump out of the chat. But before they do, I want to make sure that they can get closing remarks. So Denra and Cleveland, any closing remarks that you want to say about anything, where your head is, where your heart is?
For me, I thought about that question from earlier, the opening question about like who will perform at the birthday and all that.
I ain't never answered that either.
It got to be the OG. It got to be Stevie Wonder. Now, anybody who knows me knows that's one of my favorite artists. I'm working on playing him in a movie, film, stage, whatever. I gotta be Stevie. You feel me? He's not. And I got a birthday coming up next month, so that'd be nice if we could just, you know what I mean? But
Chris, make it happen.
Look,
put my shades on and bring my best singer voice if that's what you want. It ain't much, but it's something,
My birthday's next month too. I might have to come to Chicago.
okay.
You bring your winner book.
But I did want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. It is always wonderful to see my face on a screen surrounded by other Black faces. Let me tell you, it is beautiful to see. I am from Durham, North Carolina. So, it's cool living in the South, especially with all of the things that have been going on, So I appreciate from the bottom of my heart spaces like this. And I just wanted to say thank you for everyone being and doing all the things that they're doing. Thank you for just being you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Denra. It was great.
I am a reflection of you.
I am a reflection of you, yes.
I'm a reflection of you. One love from Chicago all the way to North Carolina.
Thank you.
All right, y'all.
All right, Chris, bring in the judges.
All right, they may take a minute because there's a little bit of a time lag, but they should be jumping in the next minute or two. Do you have one more question you want to find out? Go ahead, Julia. Julia's got some words to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. First of all, I'm glad that I was here to hear everyone's voices and just all everyone's thoughts. I think I would just say that right now we're in the middle of a paradigm shift. So if there's any time to redefine or define yourself and who you want to be, it's now. That was like the big break as far as everything that we're going through within the pandemic. So, the idea was not to get swallowed up by all the negativity. And Denver brought up empathy fatigue, but to also understand that there's just a lot of opportunity. You just have to stop for a hot second and just make sure that you giving yourself a moment to think about who you want to be. And like Queen, I also write music, and one of the song that I wrote during the pandemic was called "Inspire You." And it's all about celebrating the things that inspire you. That's how it'll keep you inspired, keep you going. So I just wanted to share that.
Love it. Love it.
That's my Sagittarian brother, y'all. Same birthday.
I'm gonna bring these two amazing young ladies that sat through the call, that did the judging. Y'all may have saw Jayla in that intro video. I'm gonna bring these shout out to her for busting her butt last year. Uh-oh. Could y'all mute? I hear a little background noise. There we go. Jayla's a high school student. She's been volunteering with Light of Loving Kindness for the last 3 years. She'll be graduating in May 2022. Woo, woo, woo. Let's go. And she's been accepted to Texas Southern University, that nerdy South. Let's go. Historical HBCU. She's excited. She's going to be majoring in child psychology. That's what I majored in. Man, love. That's awesome. And then we also have Juanita Dillard. She's an intern as well for Light of Loving Kindness. She is a psychology major too at Loyola University here in Chicago in her senior year. And she's pursuing a minor in nonprofit organizational management. So thank y'all both so much for joining us. Let us know what's going on, judges. Uh-oh, y'all are both muted. Make sure you unmute too. Sorry about that.
Okay, hey everyone. So basically for the gift card winners, we have Amanda Gidney.
Amanda. And just so you know, what we need you to do, you all, if you are winners, we need you to go onto our Facebook or to our Instagram. Make sure you follow us first and foremost, or like us. But then also we need you to reply there with a private message with your name, your telephone number, and your email address. And someone will be following up with you within the next 48 hours to make sure we get everything to you. So shout out to Amanda Gidney for winning that first $25 gift card.
We also have Daryl Satcher.
Let's go. Do you have their comments too? The comments that won by chance, Jayla?
I took notes.
Okay.
So for Amanda, she was talking about how just how she used to like portray herself. I didn't write down the exact words, but she was basically going off of what you guys said and was talking about her experiences in mental health.
Awesome. Great. Who is the third? Do you know Daryl's? Do you remember what Daryl said by chance? No? Okay. Don't worry.
He came from Facebook. I was watching off of YouTube.
Okay. We'll go then to the third. Who was third?
Pause.
Pamela Harris.
Pause. Juanita, were you about to say something?
I don't think my mic is working.
Oh, it's working.
It is working. Okay, sorry. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Sorry. Daryl was on Facebook. He's just showing a lot of support and, making comments about everybody's professions and just the conversation that was going on.
I'm sorry if I interrupted somebody. I just
Nah, you're
picking
good.
up on
Thank
small
you.
things.
Thank you, Keyshawn. And shout out to Daryl for just being super active in the chat. That's my boy. We got to get back on our P90 workouts. So I appreciate you, Daryl. Appreciate you, brother. Awesome, ladies. And then who's third? Who do we have?
For third, we have Pamela Harris. And she, I wrote down kind of exactly what she said, but when we were talking about mental health, she brought awareness to the fact that mental health has been a very serious issue within a lot of communities, especially within the adolescents. So,
Awesome. Pamela Harris, our third winner, $25 gift card. And listen, for those three people that we just called to, listen, if y'all want a session, a mental health session, a workforce readiness session, an entrepreneurship, you just want someone to talk to about what you're looking to create, whether it be create yourself or create a product or a business, we got you there too. So shout out to those first three cash winners. And now the next three winners are just going to win the coaching session. So who are the other three people that we have, ladies?
Our other three winners, are Vera McDonald.
That's my mama. That's my mama. I'm just saying, that's my mama.
Well, she did a good job. We also have Jay Williams.
Yeah, let's go.
And New Moon Creatives.
Let's go, New Moon.
Jay Williams is my mama. I just want to let everybody know that. That's my mama.
Go. Family showing up, and we got
let me go get my
family
mama.
about to have a beautiful baby girl soon. So shout out to New Moon too. Much love.
Hey, New Moon.
Ladies, Juanita and Jayla, thank you so much. Anything that I know y'all didn't get a chance to tune in too much. Did y'all want to ask any questions or make any final comments or anything?
I just agree with Denra's exiting comment. It's great to see so many Black faces doing such great things for the community. I was very excited to listen to everything you guys have to say. So thank you for being here and for supporting, the culture.
Love it.
That's what we do.
I just wanted to say, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I feel like it's really good for people to know they're not alone in that. No matter what, there is always people around you that are willing to sit there and listen and try their best to understand. So I feel like it was really nice to be able to be a part of this.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. Justin, final remarks, words. I know we're a little over on time, but we having fun. So let's keep the party going.
Well, the last thing I got to say is thank you all for taking the time to be here today. It was truly informative, amazing, and on the eve of such a historic month coming up, happy Black History Month Eve. And with people like you, it's Black History Month every day. So with that, we sign out. Peace out.
Love y'all. Remember, in order to achieve your dreams,
you gotta follow your passion first.
Hey, one love, y'all. Have a good one. Appreciate y'all. In order to achieve your dreams, you gotta follow your passion first.
Passion first, passion first, put it first, hey. Passion first, passion first, put it first, hey. We gon' be needing each other just to get this right. Hey, hey.
Cool.